Hello everyone, welcome to your Aquarius new moon reading, and this new moon is going to be on February 1st of 2022. It'll be around 12:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when it's going to be at its fullest. So for some of you in the western part of the United States, of course, that is going to be on the evening of January 31st, and wherever you're at in the world, of course. But this new moon has wonderful Aquarian energy coming in. It is an energy of independence. So when you're looking at help that's going to be coming your way around this new moon, it's going to be more coming from like groups rather than an individual. So that's kind of that Aquarian energy. They're more group oriented than, individuals. The new moon energy also has this kind of push to flow with any changes that are coming in around this new moon. And it's kind of this advice to step back from situations, cool down, and have like this rational look at current situations, not all that heated emotion flowing through there. So you can allow things to develop and try thinking from a different angle. So all that kind of energy is coming in. There's an affirmation. I love these Moonology decks that Yasmin Bullen puts out, and this is the Manifestation Oracle. And so you can see here, this is the new moon in Aquarius that's coming up. And the affirmation that she mentions in her little book that comes with this deck says, "There's only one of me, and it's safe to be me. And I love me." So I really, really like that one. And so with all these new moon cycles, of course, every 28, 29, 30 days, we have that new cycle of the moons that happen that go from new moon to the quarter moon to the full moon to the third quarter moon, back to the new moon again. So there's always this fluctuation there, but within each of the signs as well, there is a 6-month cycle. So this is the ending of a cycle that happened like over a year ago. But we have the full moon in Aquarius that happened back in 2021. In fact, we had 2 full moons in Aquarius, one after one another in 2021, which doesn't happen quite often. And so we had July 23rd, and then the blue moon in Aquarius on August 22nd. So if you look around those dates and in between those dates, you can kind of look and see what kind of changes were happening, because this one, the full moon energy for back in that time, was about being real. It was about opening up to clarity around circumstances in our life, separating our ego's influence from the capital T truths of the reality of a situation. There was this balancing between the heart and the mind, and this balancing of being real versus trying to please all of the people all the time. The affirmation for those back in that energy was, "The truth empowered you and it set you free." So there was this setting free of something going on around July 23rd through August 22nd or thereabouts. And so since then, all the way up to this new moon, you've been working on all that energy of being more real, of seeing things more clearly, seeing beyond the ego and what your ego was saying something meant, like what story you were putting around a situation. And the clarity came over these last 6 months, which allows you to come in to this new energy where you're allowing the changes to happen with all this information that you gathered during that. So we're going to dive into each of the individual zodiac signs and just see what the Creator wants you to know about this new moon and about what these changes are and what you can go with the flow with. So we'll jump into your specific reading right now. All right, all my Geminis, this is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Spirit Junkie cards. And this is just going to be what the Creator wants you to be aware of on what clarity came to you during these last 6 months, and or what change or changes are you encouraged to flow with or flow through. So for our Geminis, what would you like them to know, please? There we go. And here you go. It says, I can expand time when I'm inspired. And this, of course, though, I'm hearing time management has been like this clarity that's come through the last 6 months from you. And it's like you have been really starting to be aware of where you're investing your time and where you feel like you were wasting your time and where you want to invest your time. And a lot of that has to have, it's come because you were inspired, like it mentions here. Like you have this new passion, you had this new just desire, this new, and I'm feeling like it's just all these different things for so many different of you, you know, whether it is like something to do with you want to spend more time in a relationship that you have, whether it's a family, romantic, friend, work, fur baby, you know, feather baby, whatever it might be. You wanted to invest more time in a relationship, or you wanted to invest more time in a job, which could be either you wanting to work more, or you wanted to invest more time in your own business, that type of thing, or you wanted to invest time in educating yourself, whether that's formal education or learning something new, or you wanted to invest time in your body or in your possessions. You wanted to like redo something, build something, declutter and clean, even whatever it may be. It's like all those different things. It's like you have this inspiration where I want to spend more time on this, and so you really have this passion and you're like, I'm going to make time. I'm going to expand my time by getting rid of things that I've been investing my time in before, and my time and energy in before. So I like that. And we're going to also pull cards here from the Good Tarot and just see what else the Creator wants you to know. So let's look into this. What about this expanding time? What else do you want? Whoa, okay, there we go. Sorry, all our Geminis to know here. Okay, anything else? Cool. Yeah, so they had like, you know, all these come out at a time and then one at a time. So I kind of feel like there's this doing one thing at a time message that's coming in with just how the cards came out, which is pretty hysterical. But they definitely see it's like they can't fit all of that in. And so with making this expand, makes room for everything. So I like that. Interesting. Okay. So the first card you got that made itself known is transformation. This will normally be the death card or death and rebirth. So this is the ending of things and new beginnings, which makes total sense with what we are talking about here. With you are definitely making these strong decisions on, and very clear decisions on what you want to let go and what you want to invest time in. So you're definitely not beating around the bush. You're ending things and beginning things. You're investing time and energy here and moving it into this thing that you're wanting to do, which I think this card is going to tell us a lot about that. But let's continue down here. And you've got the Four of Air, which is the Four of Swords in a regular tarot. And this would represent like the peace of mind. Normally you would see someone laying down sleeping on the Ace of Swords with 3 swords hanging up, which brings up the 4, and they're sleeping and they're restful because they've put their mind at ease because of all those expectations that we had, because that's what the 3 of Swords is for me, is the expectations. So You've had all these thoughts and these beliefs, all these supposed to be's and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts, all those opinions of our shadow, of our ego, of this fear-based world, opinions of opinions of opinions, all those expectations. And when we are involved in those, we're faced with so much disappointment and so much stress and everything else that we can't have a peace of mind. But the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the Four of Swords card, that brings us and allows us to see the capital T truths, those things that we really do care about, those things that are really true. And they allow us to cut away those small t truths of the shadow, of those expectations, all those should be's and supposed to be's. All that cuts away those and allows you to be free. And that makes sense with this transformation, as you are, because you're knowing what you're wanting to end and what you're wanting to begin, you have peace of mind of it, because you're very focused in knowing what you want to do. And you have 13 here, 3 plus 1 is 4, and number 4 again. So you have this strong foundation that's happening, because 4s are very strong. You look at like a table with 4 very strong legs, though it's a very strong, stable table, right? So I really love that that's coming in here for you. And then you go into the 6 of Earth. That would be the 6 of Pentacles in the Standard Tarot. This is the giving and receiving card. And what's interesting is I also call this the codependency awareness card. But with the giving and receiving first, it's like, what do you want to give and put your energy into, because you're going to be getting something back out of it. Because what you're giving in is what's coming back, is what I'm really picking up from this card and with this reading that is coming forward with this card for you. And so it's really this, what do I want to invest, or what do I want to get back? And I have this picture of like, I don't want oranges, so I'm not going to plant orange trees anymore. Or I don't want tomatoes, so I'm not going to get tomato plants anymore. I want to get avocado plants because I want an avocado tree, or I want blah, blah, blah. And so you're really looking at where you're investing it, because it's the giving and receiving. You're like, I know where I invest it is what I'm going to get back. And so you're really getting clarity around what it is that you do want to invest in. I have this whole reaping, sowing, whatever you're giving out is what's going to be coming back in this situation. So it's very important in that. And they don't even want me to talk about the codependency awareness side of this, because they're like, yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with what they're wanting you to know with this message here. Again, where you want to invest your time, because where you invest your time is what you're going to be getting back. So really this focus on where you're wanting to invest. And then you have the Page of Earth. So the pages are 2 things. One is new opportunities coming in the outside world, which totally makes sense, right? Because you are stopping investing in areas you don't want, and that allows you to have these new opportunities to invest where you do. And so that is beautiful. So definitely a confirmation for you. The other thing with pages is they were the messengers, of the olden times, right? The hear ye, hear ye. So this is about messages coming from the outside world. So you are going to be getting communication regarding your situations here. And I really feel this definitely is about getting messages from spirit, from the outside world too, as you're going along this path. So if you're unsure of anything, just ask and then watch for messages and confirmations and synchronicities. Because if you're not ready to make a decision yet, that means you don't have enough information yet to make the decision. Otherwise, you'd have already made it. So the Page of Earth is about looking outside and being aware around this Aquarius full moon of like license plates, of bumper stickers, of songs on the radio, of conversations that you overhear, or an email that you get, with like a junk email with a different subject line that you're like, oh wow, that answers my question, or anything in social media. Just pay attention to what's going on in the outside world, because this is them saying, we're going to bring you confirmation like you won't believe around this Aquarius new moon. So ask, and you will get answers. Let me slide that up underneath there. And then you've got the Queen of Earth. So the Queen, she is all, this is like very much Empress energy, which is creativity. But she brings in this Mother Nature, Mother Nurture feel. And this is definitely about taking care of you. Don't, give yourself away for everyone else. So all these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos we talked about that are falling away with this transformation, a lot of it has to do with all your thoughts of, well, I need to give 100% of myself to everyone else, and then if there's anything left over, then I will use it towards my dream and my inspiration. Well, if you caught it, I said 100% of myself away. That means there's nothing left over for you. And then what you give to others becomes very bitter. It becomes very sour. It becomes resentful. But when you give to yourself first and you fill up and nurture yourself, then when you're full and everyone else gets the overflow, what you give to others is so much more delicious, because you're filling up from the inside. And I always say the greatest gift you can give the world, or one of the greatest gifts you can give the world, is a healthy, full you. And this is very much her telling you, nurture yourself, ground yourself, because you got a ton of earth here. And the other thing that the Queen of Earth does, all the queens in the deck also bring water. And so there is this emotional grounding that they're wanting you to do during this time too, as you don't get carried away with everyone else's drama, what everyone else is going through. You don't have to pick up my host where I live in her basement. She always talked about one of the biggest ahas in her life is when someone said, here, take this bag of my bag of doo-doo, and do this too, because evidently you like to take up everyone else's stuff as your own and try to solve it all. And you don't have to do that. This whole giving and receiving is, there's a time to give and there's a time to receive, and there's a time to give to yourself. And this is that time for you, especially around this Aquarius new moon. It's about you grounding yourself and becoming just really, really nurturing to yourself. Self-nurturing is huge for you. And that allows you to invest the time where you want to invest it. Because, like I said, if you're investing 100% of your time for everyone else, you have no time left for you. And if everyone else is using all of their time for themselves, no one has any time to help you too. And that's okay. We get to find that hero, that rescuer within ourselves. We don't need anyone else to do it. You get to choose you first. Which brings, drum roll. You have the 9 of Earth. Well, Earth. And the 9, this is like the Hermit kind of feel to it, because the Hermit is the 9 in the major arcana. This is about you finding your wholeness and your completeness within yourself, exactly as I was just saying. So this is yes, turning inward. Usually she'll have someone like in a garden, and she's found all her abundance and her feeling and her wholeness from within. She didn't need anything from the outside. And she does have she usually has like a winged, it's either a butterfly or a bird of some kind or something that's with her there, which represents your support team on the other side, your spiritual support, all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side that are there to help support you. And so you're never alone. You always have your spiritual posse, but you're not looking to the outside world for this completeness. This is a time for you. This message definitely, and I love how they made it so dramatic. It's like da-da-da. But I love all this earth, all this grounding energy. It's coming back to you. Coming back to you. Nurture you. Find it within you. Take time for you. So, love it. I don't think there's any more we can add to that. So in addition to these, I want to let you know, I also do the monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, etc. Also new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then the subscribe button down below, and then the notification bell that pops up, then you can set it to be notified immediately when new videos come out. Also, doing any of that will help spread the love, because that will please the YouTube algorithm and it'll make it share these videos with others as recommended videos. So if you want to do any of that, of course, I greatly appreciate it. Never any pressure to do so. All right, all my Geminis, just know as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing new moon, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.